and he requests his father's permission to go out to visit the city. So when he went out to visit the city, he saw the four sides. The first one is the sick person, the second the old man, the last one is the dead person. But the last time he saw was the Hindu monk. So here we need to understand that, like explained recently, that in Hindu traditions, for a man, when he was young, he stayed with his parents. When he getting older, he established his own families, business, and so forth. But when he approaching to his old age, he need to let go of material life to become a mendicant, to seek for the truth, to break the cycle of life and death. So that's why when the Prince Siddhartha went out with his servant, he saw this mendicant, a Hindu monk. So that's where he stopped to get out the birth cycle. And that's a common themes of all the Asian, most Asian religions, principle that one should cultivate the spiritual path to cut off the birth cycle. Of course, every tradition has different path to follow, and here this is the image that depicts how he recognized the life cycle. And so with that kind of scene, he made the decision to leave everything behind. Even he just got a son, Rahula. So he made decision to leave them behind and go for the spiritual path. So he escaped. He get out of his palace at night with his servant. So both of them rode to the forest, and after that he cut off his hair and gave back to his servant, so that his servant could bring back everything to his fathers and families in the palace. And so later on he decided to practice self mortification, that means self torture, for 6 years. And for this image that illustrates that he fasts for many days without eating much, but he has 5 companions from his country to follow him, and somehow later on he recognized that he need to go to the middle path. That means he's not supposed to indulge in entertainments, luxury life, or enjoyment of the sense. That's one pole. Another pole is not to torture his body to the extreme way. So that's here you see that even this kind of practice, self-torture, still exists in India nowadays. So later on he made decision that he will let go or walk away from this kind of practice to go to the middle path. So when he got the offerings from a young lady, the rice soup, he ran his strength to sit under the Bodhi trees, such as here, and he made the vows to sit there until his enlightenment. And of course, he has all kind of demonic challenges that they came to test his will or destroy his determination, but he still cope with his determination to practice. So according to legend, it say that Mara is the god of death, sent all kind of armies to disturb Buddha, but eventually he won all of the challenges internally and externally to become Buddha, enlightened Buddha. So here is the place, you see that, where he sat under the Bodhi trees to attain enlightenment. And later on, this what we call Maha Bodhi Stupa was erected or built by King Ashoka to indicate where the Buddha attained enlightenment. And here, that's the red stupa, and here's the Bodhi tree. You can see that here's the Bodhi trees, that where the Buddha sat under to attain enlightenment. But actually, this is not original trees. That's the third generation trees. Okay, so this is here. Is the Bodhigaya where he attained enlightenment. This is where nowadays millions of Buddhist people from everywhere come to visit this place as the most sacred or holiest place of Buddhism. You see here, there's the Bodhi tree, they protect it, and this is the place where the Buddha sat, attained enlightenment. And he sat there, or he stayed around there for another 9 days after his enlightenment. And one of the week, one serpent kings cover his hook for the Buddha when it was raining rabbits high that Bodhi tree. And so later on, he made decision to go and teach his 5 companions. So let me share with you here. Okay, I will show you the map so that you can get the idea. Okay, let's see here. Can get the idea where the Buddha gave the teaching, where he actually, let me go back here quick. Okay. Yeah, so let me go back here. Okay. Let's see. Some map will show the route that the Buddha walked around to give the teaching. Probably this one is much easy, and I think I showed you before too. Yeah, you can see this. So the Buddha who was born in Lumbini of the Shakyan clans, the capital is Kapilavastu. After he left his palace, he went to the forest and around this area to practice for 6 years, the self-torture. And later on he went to Bodhigaya, right here, to sit under that Bodhi tree to attain Buddhahood. And after he attained Buddhahood to become Buddha, so he went here. He went to Varanasi or Sarnath to give the first teaching to the 5 companions. And he taught Four Noble Truths and 8 Fold Paths for them. This is where Sarnath or Deer Park, and that's is the first Sangha or monastic communities that he ever developed or created. And so from that time on, many people follow him. And this image that talk about one of his previous life. He lie down on the mud. He spread his hair on the mud so that the former Buddhas, the Buddha in the past, work on his hair, and that Buddha gave him prediction that he would become Buddha in the future. That's what he's about. He attained enlightenment to become Buddha, as we call Shakyamuni Buddha. And from that time on, so many people follow him. The local people, the men, the male. That's where he started the first Sangha of Buddhist communities with his 5 monks, and later on he accepted many men into the Sangha, into the Buddhist monastic communities. It's high here, and his monastic communities grown day by day. And here even there's some miracles. They say that he went to one of the heaven to teach the heavenly beings or gods, and this is the image the Buddha preached to the kings and monks in Ajanta cave. And he converted many local kings who serve as his supporters. And we go back here. Here, there's many kingdom in Magadha, in Vaji, Mala, Kosala, and so forth. Most of the king around this area became his followers, supporters. And basically he has 10 main disciples: Shariputra, a top master of wisdom; Maurana, the student who is foremost in sacred power; Mahakashipa, he is the foremost student in ascetic training; Subhuti, he understood the emptiness principle; Puna, Maitreya Buddha was the red teacher of the law; Katyayana, he understood the Buddha lecture the best; Aniruddha, he was the foremost student in sacred eyes; Upali is the foremost student in keeping the precept or discipline; Rahula was only son that Buddha has before he became Buddha, and he followed strict rules; and Ananda, and the one that could remember all of his teaching, all of the Buddha teaching. So that the 10 main students that the Buddha have. And here, when he came back to visit his kingdom, second kingdom, he performs what we call the miracles. On the bottom, he emits the water; on the top, he emits the light or the fire to subdue his clans, second clan's arrogance. And here is talk about the God created the path for the Buddha to walk to the heaven in one of the Renin retreat. He went to one heaven, the heaven of 32, to teach his mothers. The one passed away 7 days after he was born. And when two country try to fight each other to get the water, so the Buddha performed these miracles so that they can pay attention and respect the Buddha teaching not to fight or to kill based on the compassion. And this is the sin that the Buddha tamed the drunk elephants that was released by Devadatta, and that's the Buddha cousin. So he tamed these drunk elephants with his compassionate mind. And here, one more time, he walked down from the heaven after 3 months lecturing the gods up there. So there's and this is a story that relates to how he subdued criminals that killed 999 people, and he tried to kill the Buddha as 1001, but due to the wisdom and virtue, so he could subdue and convert these criminals, and later on he became a Buddhist monk too. So this is the image, and this image that talk about how the Buddha took care of the sick monks. He emphasized how he remind his student that they need to take care of the sick people, companions. So here's the this pilgrimage site of the Buddhist historical site. Again, Lumini, that's where he was born. Bodh Gaya, that's where he attained enlightenment. Penes, or the Deer Park, where he first gave the teaching, and the last place, the Kushinagar, where he passed away. And this is the same thing too. Okay, so this is the Indian map in general, and it's some story that relate to his former student, Moeyana, the one who has psychic power. This story relates to how he used his psychic power to help his diseased mothers who was hungry ghosts, but he could not help her out at all. You see, the hungry ghost has big belly and small throat. Whenever they consume the food, they would be painful because the food would become the fire to burn their mouth, and that's why later on he went back to seek for the Buddha blessing, to bless his mothers, and eventually she was born in the heaven. And this is what about. This is many image and many story about the Buddhas. And at the age of 80, he passed away at the in the forest, what they call the Twin Sala forest, peacefully. And 3 months after he passed away, Mahakashyapa convened 500 arhats as the first Buddhist council to recite the Buddha teaching again orally. So again, Ananda memorized all of the Buddha teaching, and he was one that decided the Buddha teaching again during that first Buddhist council. And Upali, this was one here. This depicts how Venerable Ananda sat amongst those 500 arhat to recite the Buddha teaching, and Venerable Upali decide the books of discipline for the monk to follow, and later on they have divisions in Buddhism. It's just 18 sets, and we learn that later on. Okay, so that's the thing I want to share with you today. Let me stop here, and that's just the general information about the last Buddha as well as the first